Hello and welcome to News Hour. I am David Patrick Kamara. Coming up in this edition of News Hour, Vice President says government places education and health at the top of its priorities. Junior doctors strike over poor conditions of service nationwide, and the Sierra Leone Teachers Union (SLTU) issues a press release on the 2019 budget. All these stories and more are lined up in this edition of News Hour. Welcome back and thanks for joining us for our first story tonight. Vice President Dr. Mohamed Julde Jallow has said that the Freetown Government Hospital has said in Freetown that the government has placed social services of education and health at the top of its priorities and will do all it takes to improve the health indices of Sierra Leone. He was speaking at the West African College of Physicians 42nd Annual General and Scientific Meeting at the Freetown International Conference Center, Buntimani Hotel in Freetown. Thomas Neal has the details.
I therefore, with great pleasure, on behalf of His Excellency the President, I declare the 42nd Annual General and Scientific Meeting of the West African College of Physicians open. I wish you a fruitful deliberation. Thank you very much.
This is the sixth time that Sierra Leone is hosting this meeting. The college has grown from its original 5 Anglophone chapters to its present 12 chapters, 7 of which are Francophone. Since its inception, the college has trained 15 Sierra Leonean fellows and members and currently has 13 trainees in various training programs. The themes of the meetings have always reflected timely health issues of the region. This meeting is no exception, defining the role of the laboratory in the area of emerging and re-emerging diseases in the sub-region. Vice President Dr. Mohamed Julde Jallow applauded the efforts of the West African College of Physicians in its drive to achieve its mission to improve the health of West Africans through training and research. He described the theme as timely, as it implores them to place importance of laboratory at the forefront in the fight against infectious diseases, adding that diagnosis of infectious diseases should no longer be guesswork.
We are grateful that the college, and particularly the President Secretary General, recently made effort to grant partial accreditation to the Oladuri Children's Hospital for the training of pediatrics and the Connaught Hospital for the training of internal medicine.
The President, West African College of Physicians, Dr. Ifoma Ebunu, said in 1976 the West African College of Physicians was established with its mission to improve the health of West Africans through excellence in training of medical specialists and the provision of high-quality health care and research into health promotion and health care. She said the major functions of the college include organization of specialists, postgraduate medical training in West Africa, through formal courses, and advisory role to the government of West Africa in relevant aspects of health and health care. Goodwill messages from various physician colleges, as well as admission of new members, new fellows, and the conferment of colleges' prizes form part of the meeting. In another engagement, the 4-man match-fixing inquiry group from FIFA has paid a courtesy call on the Vice President, Dr. Mohamed Julde Jallow, at his Tower Hill office. The duties of the independent committee are to investigate the allegations and provide a comprehensive report to the FIFA Members Association Committee. Vice President Dr. Mohamed Julde Jallow welcomed the team to Sierra Leone.
The government delegation that went to FIFA a couple of weeks ago, and one of the issues we agreed in Zurich was that a team will be coming to Freetown. And the next one after you, we're going to have another team that's going to work with the next one. So I'm very excited since our visit to Zurich, we're making progress. So I want to formally welcome you to Freetown, and we look forward really to your work because it is part of what we want to do as a government. We want to bring discipline to the football, and also we have made a commitment while we were in Zurich, to fight against corruption in football.
The team is expected to meet key stakeholders. For News Hour in Freetown, Thomas Neal reporting.
The Sierra Leone Teachers Union has issued a press release on the 2019 budget speech that was presented in the Well of Parliament by the Minister of Finance Jacob Jusu Safa last Friday, 2nd of November 2018. According to the press release, the union has been calling on successive governments to improve the conditions of service for teachers. SLTU's zonal chairman Fode Kuyate was at our New Englandville studio and spoke with Maheni Mansari.
Sierra Leone Teachers Union has come out with this press release to make the stakeholders, particularly the government, knows the plight of teachers in this country. For far too long, for several years, the Sierra Leone Teachers Union has been appealing to government that it is now time for teachers to have an increase in salary. So therefore, we as a union, we have written a letter to the Ministry of Labour and Social Security for us to start negotiation in earnest. Because if we are to achieve the free quality education in this country, then definitely the teachers of this country who are trained and qualified must be motivated so that they can give all their best in the teaching profession.
So is this press release a consideration by all the members of the Sierra Leone Teachers Union?
Yes, we have consulted our membership and they have mandated us as a union to come out with this press release. Because as I speak to you presently, the salaries and condition of service of teachers in this country is deplorable. And I want to challenge any government that if you look at the sub-region of West Africa, teachers of Sierra Leone are the least paid in the sub-region. Take the case of small Gambia. Teachers of Gambia are getting far more better salary than us. Nigeria, even our neighbors, Liberia. So we have come out with this press release that we want negotiation to start now. If government did not start the negotiation with the Sierra Leone Teachers Union, SLT will have no option but to consult its membership right across the country for the membership to take a decision. And we don't know the decision the membership will take. It can be a strike action, it can be any other action, but we pray that government will listen to this press release and will start negotiations with them now. Because by law, we have a collective bargaining certificate for us to start negotiations with government for better pay and condition of service for teachers across the country.
That was SLTU's zonal chairman Fode Kuyate speaking there to Maheni Mansari. Junior doctors are on a nationwide strike as a result of poor conditions of service. The strike action is coming at a time when other sectors are asking for an increase in their salaries. According to the report, government peripheral hospitals are without doctors and patients are now stranded to get medical attention. Let's join Soriba Samura for the details.
The junior doctors claim that they have been calling on governments close to 2 years now to improve their conditions of service, but that they received little or no attention. Hospitals gravely affected are mainly Princess Christian Maternity, Oladirin and Connaught hospitals. Sources from the Oladirin Children's Hospital say the junior doctors wrote a letter informing the administration that they will be engaged in a 2-day consultations amongst themselves, during which they will be absent from work. At PCMH and Oladirin Children's Hospital, patients expressed frustration over the time they have had to wait to be attended to by doctors, but no one showed up to them. Some pregnant women told SLBC that they went to hospital hoping to see a doctor to carry out check upon them, but that they could not be attended to due to the strike action. Sister in charge of emergency ward at Connaught Hospital, Cecilia Camara, said the strike action caused them serious problems. She added that care to patients became slow without the presence of the junior doctors. The Deputy Chief Medical Director, Dr. Fadiluddin, told SLBC that the strike came as a surprise to the management of Connaught Hospital.
The junior doctors are the majority in number. So I mean, if they are not there, certainly some of the places will not be covered. However, the accident and emergency is well covered. We have 3 doctors there. Well, I think the issues that they are talking about are being dealt with at the level of the Ministry of Health and Sanitation. I'm sure there will be, very soon there will be everything will be sorted out amicably. I have no doubt about that.
He appealed to the junior doctors to abide by their pledge to save lives while calling on them to return to work. Soriba Samura, SLBC News in Freetown.
A high-powered delegation comprising medical doctors and other health professionals has arrived in Sierra Leone to give medical assistance to poor and vulnerable people in the country. The team will be based in the southern city of Bo and will spend the next few weeks in the Bo Government Hospital. The team will also conduct training of various health practitioners in the medical chain. Asmi Uba caught up with the head of the medical service of Med Global, Dr. Iqbal Navid, and started by asking him to give a background to the mission.
We started in Chicago and in the UK, where we always wanted to work in Africa. We worked in different places around the world, such as Yemen and also Bangladesh and in the Middle East. But we've always wanted to work in Africa because we realized there is a need here. And so we started talking, started planning, and here we are today.
Okay. Now, one of the reasons why you decided to come to Sierra Leone is because of the destruction that Ebola did to the country's health system. Let's talk a bit about Sierra Leone's dysfunctional health system. How would an event like this, a training like this, beef it up?
So yeah, so reading about Sierra Leone and reading reports, it was quite uncomfortable to read, for example, some of the mortality rates and the healthcare system. We're acutely aware of the Ebola crisis, which affected many countries, especially Sierra Leone, and that affected the health system as well. And on top of that, there was other statistics such as high maternal mortality, high infant mortality, and then we're also looking at the number of doctors that are available, and we have statistics such as about 2 to 3 doctors per 100,000, and that's very low compared to, say, somewhere in the Western world where it's significantly higher. So these were some of the areas that we wanted to sort of focus on and see why this is happening.
So what kind of training are you going to give to the medical practitioners that you'll be coming across with?
So what we're hoping to do is have train them in 2 different ways. One is for them to learn alongside us. So while our doctors, we've got a team of about 13 doctors and nurses, they will be sort of treating the patients, and at the same time there'll be existing medical practitioners from Sierra Leone who we're hoping to learn as we practice and see all the diverse cases. As well as that, we're going to be providing an educational program during the week, which my colleague will talk about, and that will be to look at emergencies, how to deal with very sick people, because we were looking at the life expectancy, for example, which is only about 52 to 55 years, and that has improved, I have to say, with intervention programs. We're hoping to sort of continue that and add to this sort of training where we can deal with critically sick patients. And lastly, we've got the surgical side as well. Our surgeons will be treating sort of sick patients focused on general surgery and gynecology as well, where again the death rates were too high because there was lack of access. So the 2 ways, just to summarize, is one is through on-the-job training, where we've got doctors and nurses with us, and also formalized structured lectures at the local university.
Head of the Medical Services of Med Global, Dr. Iqbal Navid, ending that interview with Asmiu Ba. For the first time, Pitful Wala gets a vocational training center. School dropouts, early marriage, forceful initiation, and drug abuse were among the issues affecting the community. Love One Another campaign Sierra Leone provided a skills training center with funds from the German embassy and other goodwill ambassadors. Vocational training helps to develop social competence in individuals and has a positive impact on the person's motivation, attitude, self-esteem, confidence among the unemployed.
20 years ago, the Love One Another campaign started as a group preaching love as an essential ingredient in national development. Today, the campaign, according to the founder and executive director, Dr. Christian Bell, has been transformed into an organization that is a force to reckon with. He furthered that Petfuwala in Lokomasama Chiefdom Potloko district is in dire need of a skills training center that will produce higher level technicians that requires a specific training, as most of the youths are engaged in farming, bike riding, early marriage, among others. He noted that the training is important as it prepares individuals for jobs that are based on manual or practical activities. Dr. Bell emphasized that the campaign transforms and empowers youth and young adults to become self-reliant, noting that his institution is based on 3 pillars, which include prayer, advocacy, and projects that operate nationwide.
We have a lot of projects all around Sierra Leone. As a matter of fact, we operate nationwide. Right? We have a school in Kono with approximately 400 pupils. We have a training center in McKinney for women. Just about 2 months ago, 52 women graduated. Some of them had never gone to school. We also have a training center in Bo for girls. And we've just constructed one in Kenema, which we hope to commission at the beginning of next year. We have just commissioned this one in Lokomasama. So you see, we operate in all regions.
Country representative, Mothers Helping Mothers, Mrs. Valerie Bell, encouraged teenage mothers to feel free to enroll and come along with their babies. She called on community stakeholders to take good care of the facility, as it will be of great help to generations to come. Other stakeholders in the community highlighted challenges they face in Lokomasama Chiefdom as a whole, ranging from poor road network, vehicles, and farm products to enable them plant on time for better produce. Youths that have enrolled into the Vocational Training Center expressed appreciation to the campaign for their kind gesture and called on other well-meaning Sierra Leoneans to assist them with other basic amenities that will enable them live a meaningful life in the society. As they put it, politicians only come to their aid when elections are close, to woo them into voting for them and later abandon them. SLBC News, Rose Konima Stevens.
After the proposal by parliamentarians for the increment of their salaries and other conditions of service, the Sierra Leone Labour Congress has issued a statement proposing that the minimum wage be increased from 500,000 yuans to 1,750,000 yuans. According to the Labour Congress, the minimum wage should be reviewed after every 2 years. Daphne Kemamakoli and Cynthia Kamara take the camera to the people to seek the views on the proposal of the Sierra Leone Labour Congress.
Because why I'm saying this, as for the parliamentarian, they are in the parliament here to represent us, people. I believe we are the one who should come up with this idea about salary increments. But I'm very surprised why the parliamentarians are asking for increment of the salary. If we are thinking about the layman, some of us have been paid 500,000, even the 500,000 salary that they have been told us from the last time, from the past government. Some of these people still are not receiving the salary. But if the parliamentarian, they come up with this idea, it's good. It's good for them too, then it's good for us too.
Actually, I support, highly support, I concur them. I support them. Because that will make the drivers to become happy. If not, you know, for me to drive you to McKinney, then I have stress, you know, disturbing myself within my opinion. And that will cause an accident on the way. So we have to express our feeling to tell the president or rather the government that we are not satisfied with our daily bread given to us, which is very low. 500,000, I have to pay rent, I have to pay my children's school fees, I have to do other things with that 500,000, which is not enough.
If the MP said they should increase their salary, I guess other staff too, they their salaries should be increased. Like for example, the teachers. The teachers made the NPs to be who they are today. So if they are saying they should increase their salaries, the teachers, so their salaries should go up. And not only the teachers, but other staff as well.
You're watching News Hour on the Syria Broadcasting Corporation with me, David Patrick Kamara. Now it's time for you to relax and let's join Esther Mary Samura for the latest in sports.
Good evening. In today's sports update, Get Fit Fitness Sports Club was formed in the country after the Ebola outbreak in Sierra Leone, and it has been effective in promoting the physical and well-being of Sierra Leoneans in the Western area. The sports exercise has caught the attention of well-meaning Sierra Leoneans in the country. SLBC Sports witnessed one of its physical training session. Physical fitness is a state of health and well-being, and more specifically, the ability to perform aspects of sport, occupations, and daily activities. Physical fitness is generally achieved through moderate, vigorous physical exercise, among others. The Fit Fitness Sports Group targets people from all walks of life who trains hard to keep their body fit. Some members of the sports club said physically they need strength and endurance in practicing this sport. They have been talking about its importance. Here is BBC reporter Omar Ufofana and others.
I love exercises generally. I try to do a lot of brisk walking. So I came here, it's been almost 2 months now, and I found it really very exciting because even though I used to do brisk walking, I couldn't do things like aerobics. So when I came here, I've been doing a lot of aerobics and I've been doing stretches. Stretches are very good for me because I've got a history of lumbago, some back problems. So I found out as I started coming here, I've had no problems whatsoever with my back.
I realized that I was a bit tight while walking. Was coming here for a couple of weeks now. It has reduced that stress in me. And
you can see my physique. Initially, I had, bloated tummy. I am now flat. I can eat well. I sleep well. And even in terms of nocturnal activities, this is just a joke.
This training varies with many moves, including acrobatic moves. Esther Marie Samoa reporting for SLBC TV. And in basketball, the Warriors basketball team has a thrilling win over Upward Slims Basketball Club in their preseason friendly encounter. The friendly encounter, which was played at the Atsugamini Stadium basketball court, is in preparation of the Western Area Basketball Association Inter-Championship. Here is a report. Basketball club has been making mark not only in the east end of Freetown, but the entire western area. In a bid to continue in that trend, the club is on an intensive preparation to compete in the Western Area Basketball Association Championship. In their friendly encounter against Upwards Basketball Club, they had an overwhelming victory against their opponents by 70-33 in their four-quarters match. Omar Kagbo, head coach of the Warriors Basketball Club, said this friendly encounter is a test case for his team's readiness ahead of the WABA Basketball Championship. He speaks more on the victory.
Dedication and hard work. As you know, Duko is a formidable team, and now we have embarked on our preseason campaign. As today marks our second encounter against Upward Slims. As you can see, the way we display, this is just a warning for the teams for them to get ready this time round. We are more than ready.
The club is expected to embark on more friendlies. Esther Marie Samoa, SLBC TV. And that's all for sports tonight. Thanks for watching.
Thanks indeed, Esther Mary Samura, for the latest in sport. Now let's move over to the High Court. A 27-year-old commercial bike rider, Babatunde Eric Lewis, has been sentenced to 6 years in prison after pleading guilty to robbing Martha Foster of a bag containing mobile phones, a gold chain, and money. The matter was tried at the High Court of Sierra Leone, headed by the Judge Justice Manfred Sisse. Let's join our court reporter Aminash Nyande Brahma.
Babatunde Eric Lewis, a 27-year-old commercial bike rider, was before the court on a count charge of robbery contrary to law, to which he pleaded guilty and begged for mercy. According to the State Prosecuting Counsel, Joseph Sisse, the penalty for robbery is life in prison and urged the judge to sentence the convict, Babatunde Eric Lewis, accordingly. Delivering his ruling, the judge, Justice Manfred Sisse, stated that the convict was a commercial bike rider when he approached the victim and snatched her bag and rode off, adding that the victim held onto her bag even when the convict was dragging her. The judge maintained that the convict was chased by an unknown man that made him abandon his bike and took to his heel, and said the bike was then taken to the Adelaide Street police station. He was later arrested and charged to court. Justice Manfred Sisse said the convict was a heartless robber that went about harassing innocent people, especially women, and urged the police to be more proactive in apprehending armed robbers. He disclosed that, had it not been for the judge he is and his rigid stance, the convict would have been free due to the several criminal attempts made by the convict and his family to get rid of the case and avert the cause of justice. Justice Manfred Sisse ruled that because the convict has spent over 2 years in prison, he sentenced him to 5 years, with time spent in remand be considered. Joseph Sisse prosecuted the matter on behalf of the state, while O.C. Spencer Coker defended the convict, Babatunde Eric Lewis. SLBC News, Aminash Nyande Brahma reporting.
We'll now move over to our entertainment news. Ishobi, whose real name is Ishmael S. Bayo, is a Sierra Leonean actor based in Ghana, but is presently in the country to promote the entertainment industry. Ishobi has decided to embark on scouting out for young talents across the country, especially from slum communities. The show Gift Plus Effort Equals to Success show was launched on Sunday at the Bungatong community. Let's join our entertainment producer Mohammed Kimilan Bangura, who compiled this report.
Now you ain't got nothing to pay.
So guys, what's up?
Ishobi, whose real name is Ishmael S. Bayo, is a Sierra Leonean actor based in Ghana, at present in the country to promote entertainment industry. Ishobi was born in Kono and grew up in Freetown before leaving for Ghana to pursue his acting career.
Hey! Is that you, Yvonne? Titi, wonder shall never end at all.
Ishobi has been in the country for a couple of months now and has decided to embark on scouting out for talent across the country, especially young ones from the slum communities, which he calls Gift Plus Effort Equals to Success show, which he launched on Sunday at the Bungatong community.
I just want to let the viewers know that there is talent down the slum, because as you are seeing the environment, it's a slum place. We have talent down here, and always these people are feeling like they've been left out. They've been left out. So I want them to think, yeah, we Syrians are actually thinking about them.
He said he brought this initiative, Talent and Gift Explosion, hoping it will shine on others and give them the confidence to showcase their God-given talent. Entertainment stakeholders attended the program, which was witnessed by people of Bungatong community. Various young, talented, upcoming artists showcased their talent, and the program was climaxed by performance by homegrown, upcoming rapper by the name of Kunafo. The whole community was impressed, especially when a TV freelance cameraman and a movie editor, Joseph T. Amara, aka Creo, promised to shoot a free music video for him for his excellent performance, and King Milan promised to promote the music video on national broadcaster SLBC after its completion. Members of the community were impressed with the organizer and founder of the Gift Plus Effort talent show, Ishobi. For sure, a good step in helping to promote the talent of Bongaton community. But is this show an ongoing program?
This is November. We are going to exhaust the whole of November. In December, myself and my team, we haven't planned for any audition yet. But definitely in December, we are going to have a big audition wherein they will buy form, fill the form, and come for the audition. But for now, this November, we are going to exhaust this November for them. So,
many thanks there to Mohamed Kimilan Bangura for the latest in the entertainment news. Well, that's our last story for tonight. To end the news, the main points again. Vice President has said that government has placed education and health at the top of its priorities. Junior doctors have staged a strike action over poor conditions of service. And Sierra Leone Teachers Union has issued a press release on the 2019 budget. And that's all we have time for in this edition of News Hour broadcast live on the SLPC. My name is David Patrick Kamara. Bye for now.